Hey, welcome to Models and Agents, episode 99. It's July 2nd, 2026. Let's see what happened in the AI world today. And trust me, it's been busy. Chinese labs just shipped a free open-weight coding agent that undercuts Western tools on price while removing export control risk. Z.ai released ZCode, a desktop agentic IDE built around the newly open-sourced GLM 5.2 model, with cross-device remote control via WeChat and Feishu. SenseNova U1 to 8B Model EF ENEFT/V2 arrived as an Apache 2.0 image model specialized for dense infographics. Several agent security and legacy hardware tools also dropped today. Watch how quickly self-hosting options gain traction after last month's export control scare. Z.ai launched ZCode, a free desktop agentic development environment purpose-built for its GLM 5.2 model and available on macOS, Windows, and Linux. The tool treats long-horizon coding tasks as multi-step agent workflows where the user states an outcome. The agent plans, edits files, runs checks, and iterates until completion. Confirmation gates appear on sensitive actions. ZCode supports bring your own key for third-party models and offers 1.5 times quota bonuses on GLM coding plan subscriptions that start at $16.20 per month. Continuous workspace sync across desktop, mobile, and messaging bots lets developers steer work from WeChat or Feishu while the agent runs. The release coincides with GLM 5.2's MIT-licensed open weights, a 744 billion mixture of experts model with 1 million contexts trained on Huawei silicon. This gives teams a fully self-hostable stack that sidesteps both U.S. export controls and Chinese data sovereignty rules. This development continues the recent narrowing of the open weight performance gap while advancing autonomous agent reliability on long-horizon tasks. Builders should test ZCode this week on any project where they want to avoid vendor lock-in after the recent Fable 5 ban episode. SenseNova released the 50-step base version of its 8 billion mixture of transformers model, specialized for dense infographic generation and editing under an Apache 2.0 license. The model produces high-quality charts, diagrams, and layouts that rival Ideogram 4 while remaining fully open for commercial use. Users can wrap it in a fast API server to expose both image generation and image editing endpoints compatible with OpenAI clients. The 8-step LoRa variant trades some quality for speed. The interleaved images variant supports consistent multi-image outputs for slide decks or storybooks. A controlled test on Mac Studio M3 Ultra plus RTX Pro 6000 via llama.cpp RPC showed 14.8% faster prefill with 15 to 20% model sharding and only 4.2% decode improvement. The 432GB Q3K XL model ran at roughly 18 tokens per second decode once split. The 432GB Q3K XL model confirmed that RPC helps capacity more than raw speed on this interconnect. The test used 15 to 20% model sharding across the Mac Studio M3 Ultra and RTX Pro 6000 hardware. Decode speed reached only 4.2% improvement despite the prefill gains. The setup ran the full Kimi K27 code model through llama.cpp RPC connections. Results showed 14.8% faster prefill under the controlled sharding conditions. Vehir introduced a multi-agent system designed to triage and reduce security alert overload while improving analyst decision quality. The agents coordinate to filter noise, correlate events, and surface only high-confidence incidents. Early users report fewer false positives and faster mean time to response in production SOC environments. Beyond Trust shipped a beta solution that adds policy controls, session recording, and least privilege enforcement around autonomous AI agents. The tool targets enterprise environments where agents may execute privileged actions across multiple systems. Reviewers note it addresses credential handling risks highlighted in recent agent framework audits. The latest update to simple LLM chat adds user-configurable reasoning depth and the ability for tool packages to inject information into the system prompt. This extends agentic capabilities to .NET 4.0 legacy machines. The project remains available on GitHub for anyone maintaining older industrial or embedded Windows environments. Simple LLM Chat version 1.2.5 now lets users adjust reasoning depth directly in the interface. Tool packages can inject additional context into the system prompt during agent runs. The changes specifically target .NET 4.0 environments on Windows XP hardware. Maintainers of industrial or embedded legacy systems can download the update from the public GitHub repository. The release focuses on extending modern agent behaviors to machines that cannot run newer frameworks. G-Health is a single Go binary that exposes 40 Fitbit Air data types as agent-ready JSON via the Google Health API. It is a community project, not an official Google release, and requires careful OAuth scoping before use. The command line tool converts Fitbit Air data streams into structured JSON output. 40 distinct data types become accessible without manual CSV export steps. Users must apply precise OAuth permissions before connecting the binary to any Google Health endpoint. The single executable runs independently and feeds agent-ready data directly into local workflows. A 5-stream Tesseract voting system plus post-processing pipeline reduced character error rate from 2.34% to 0.70% on a 422-paragraph Maltese benchmark. The approach is portable to other low-resource languages that lack large labeled PDF corpora. The LV Rover Ensemble combines 5 separate Tesseract streams with a dedicated post-processing stage. Character error rate fell from 2.34% to 0.70% on the 422-paragraph test set. Training relied entirely on synthetic data rather than large labeled corpora. The same pipeline can transfer to additional low-resource languages facing similar data constraints. The new Serendu Prist pairs 8,240 instructor annotations with college writing assignments across multiple genres. Unimatch provides a reference-based scoring method that segments feedback and measures semantic correspondence. No current LLM configuration exceeds 0.4 F1 on the benchmark. Sephora supplies 8,240 instructor-written annotations paired with real college assignments. The annotations span multiple writing genres and serve as ground truth references. Unimatch segments model feedback and calculates semantic alignment against those references. Current large language models remain below 0.4 F1 on the Unimatch evaluation. The benchmark underscores the remaining distance between generated feedback and instructor quality output. Okay, let's pop the hood on self-conditioning in continuous diffusion language models. Everyone talks about self-conditioning in flow-based language models as if it were a simple quality boost. In practice, it creates a fixed-point iteration inside the denoising loop, where each step feeds the model's own clean estimate back as additional context. The core insight is that this feedback quickly collapses toward a low-dimensional attractor. When that direction encodes repetition, perplexity drops while diversity collapses. The contraction is one-dimensional, so subtracting a single estimated vector from the feedback at every step removes the attractor without retraining. On the 105 million model, this cut repetition to human levels and transferred unchanged to 342 million and 652 million scales. The practical trade-off is roughly 1.5 to 5 times more compute to reach human clean text, but the method stays training-free and works across samplers. Use it when generation diversity matters more than raw token throughput. Skip it for short, factual outputs where repetition is unlikely anyway. The gotcha most teams miss is that standard Gen PPL metrics reward the very repetition the attractor produces, so always measure against a human reference corpus instead. Download ZCode and point it at GLM-5.2 or your own keys for any multi-file refactoring task where you want remote steering from a phone. Wrap SenseNova U1 to 8B MOTI infographic v2 in a fast API OpenAI compatible endpoint if you need license-safe infographic generation inside existing chat clients. Test the gHealth CLI on a scoped Fitbit token to feed personal health data into local agents without manual CSV wrangling. Run the LV Rover Ensemble on any low-resource language OCR project that currently relies on single-pass Tesseract. Continued refinement of Anthropic's Fable 5 classifiers is expected over the next several weeks. More Chinese labs are likely to follow Z.ai's open weight plus first-party IDE pattern. Additional agent governance betas from security vendors are responding to enterprise demand. Tomorrow, keep an eye on the next wave of open weight releases expected from labs following the GLM 5.2 pattern. That wraps up today's AI briefing. Share this with a developer or builder who wants to stay current. Subscribe wherever you listen. See you tomorrow, and if you'd rather watch than listen, find us on YouTube at Nara Network, links in the show notes. And before you go, this show is part of the Nara Network, a family of daily podcasts on tech, science, and markets, each one a short, sharp briefing you can finish on the commute. If today earned its place in your feed, here's your next listen. Environmental Intelligence, the Environment and Climate Policy Brief for Canada. Find every show free at naranetwork.com. This episode used AI voice synthesis of my voice. Editorial selection and analysis are my own.